There are hundreds of truck manufacturers spread across every continent on this planet, and most people only know a handful of them. But here is the thing. The trucks moving goods across the Australian outback, the narrow streets of Amsterdam, and the long empty highways of Montana are not built by the same companies. They do not follow the same rules, and they are absolutely not designed with the same priorities in mind. So today we are going to rank every major truck manufacturer in the world, explain what makes them great, what holds them back, and which ones are quietly taking over. And trust me, a few of these are going to surprise you. Hi, my name is Jeremy, and this is Trucks United, who this list is for, and how we are ranking them. Before we get into this, let me be clear about something. This is not just a popularity contest. We are not ranking these manufacturers based on which logo looks coolest on a mud flap. Although if we were, Mac would probably win, and everyone knows it. We are ranking them based on 4 things: global reach, engineering quality, driver reputation, and long-term reliability. We are also looking at how well each manufacturer actually solves the problems of the market they serve. A truck that is perfect for hauling ore across a remote Australian mining road might be completely useless trying to navigate a delivery route through central Paris. Context matters enormously in this industry, and that is something we will keep coming back to throughout this video. We have grouped the manufacturers into 5 tiers. Tier 5 is at the bottom, Tier 1 is at the top. Let's get into it. Tier 5, the underdogs. These are the regional players. They are not household names in Europe or North America, but in their home markets, they are absolutely everywhere, and dismissing them would be a serious mistake. Ashok Leyland. If you have never heard of Ashok Leyland, you probably have not spent much time in India, because these trucks are basically furniture there. They are part of the landscape. Founded back in 1948, Ashok Leyland is the second largest commercial vehicle manufacturer in India and one of the largest bus manufacturers in the entire world. Their trucks are built tough, built cheap, and built for roads that would make a European truck engineer cry into his coffee. They do not have the refinement of a Volvo or a Mercedes, and that is not the point. The point is durable and affordable performance in incredibly demanding conditions, and at that, they genuinely excel. Foton is a Chinese manufacturer that most Western truckers have never heard of, and if you mention the name at a truck stop somewhere in Texas or Bavaria, you will probably get a blank stare and a shrug. But here is the thing. Foton produced over 1 million commercial vehicles in a single year. 1 million. Let that number sit with you for a moment, because it is genuinely staggering. It tells you that whatever is happening in the Western trucking bubble, there is an entirely separate world of heavy transport operating completely outside of it. Foton covers everything from light pickups all the way up to heavy-duty, long-haul trucks. They have been expanding aggressively into Africa, Southeast Asia, and South America, going after exactly the markets where affordable and available beats, prestigious and expensive every single time. Their quality has historically been inconsistent, and that is the honest reason they are sitting down here in Tier 5 rather than higher. But they are improving at a pace that the established manufacturers probably should not be comfortable with. CNHTC, also known as Sinotruk. This is the manufacturer behind the Hawo truck, which is one of the most widely used heavy-duty trucks across Africa and parts of Asia. If you have ever watched footage of construction projects or mining operations in developing countries, there is a very good chance you have seen a Hawo without even realizing it. Rugged, affordable, and available. Sinotruk built their reputation on being accessible where others were not. Feigu, or First Automobile Works, is one of the oldest automotive manufacturers in China. Founded in 1953, its truck division has quietly become one of the largest in the world by volume. They are a giant by numbers, but their global brand recognition outside Asia is still limited, which is why they sit here for now. The phrase "for now" is doing a lot of work in that sentence, and we will come back to that later. Tier 4. The workhorses. These manufacturers are solid, reliable, and in many cases seriously underrated. They might not be the flashiest names in the industry, but pull up to any busy port or distribution center anywhere in the world, and you will find them. Isuzu. If you have a medium-duty truck sitting in your yard that just will not die no matter what you throw at it, there is a very decent chance it is an Isuzu. The Japanese manufacturer has built an almost legendary reputation for reliability, particularly in the light to medium-duty segment, and that reputation has been earned over decades of trucks simply refusing to give up. Fleet operators absolutely love them because the maintenance costs are low, the parts are widely available, and the trucks keep running long after other brands would have given up and started leaking from places you did not even know could leak. Isuzu has a massive presence across Asia, Australia, and large parts of Africa. And here is the detail that really tells you everything you need to know about their engineering. They produce diesel engines that other manufacturers actually license and put into their own vehicles. Think about that for a second. When your direct competitors would rather buy your engine than build their own, you are clearly doing something very, very right. Hino is Japanese, extremely reliable, and owned by Toyota, which should tell you something about the standard of engineering. Hino sits in a similar space to Isuzu, focused heavily on medium-duty and distribution trucks, with a strong presence across Asia and Australia. Their trucks are not the most exciting vehicles on the road, and excitement is not exactly what you want when you are managing a fleet of 40 vehicles and trying to keep your maintenance budget under control. Hino is the truck equivalent of a reliable employee who always shows up on time and never causes drama. Every fleet needs those. MAN. Now we are getting into European territory. MAN, which stands for Maschinenfabrik Augsburg-Nürnberg, is a German manufacturer with a history going back over 150 years. They make excellent trucks with solid engineering, strong build quality, and a reputation among drivers across Europe. The reason MAN sits in Tier 4 rather than higher is not a question of quality. It is a question of identity. Since Volkswagen Group took full ownership, MAN has become closely integrated with Scania, which we will talk about shortly, and that integration has made MAN feel slightly less distinct as a brand. They are still excellent trucks. They just feel a little like the younger sibling who is always compared to their more famous brother. DAF, a Dutch manufacturer owned by PACCAR, is extremely popular among European long-haul drivers. DAF trucks are known for their comfort, their cab space, and their fuel efficiency. Their XF model has won the International Truck of the Year award multiple times, which is not something you achieve by accident. DAF drivers tend to be loyal, almost aggressively so, and there is a good reason for that. Spend a few 100,000 kilometers behind the wheel of an XF and you start to understand why drivers do not want to switch. The cab is spacious, the ride is smooth, and the running costs are competitive enough that fleet operators keep coming back, order after order. Now here is something that DAF fans absolutely do not want to hear, since PACCAR also owns Kenworth and Peterbilt. There is a surprising amount of shared engineering DNA across those brands. DAF is essentially a Kenworth with a European accent and a much better coffee machine. Do not say that to a DAF driver though. Trust me on that one. Tier 3. The serious contenders. This is where things start getting genuinely impressive. These manufacturers are not just regional players or workhorses, they are shaping the global industry. PACCAR. You may not immediately recognize the name PACCAR, but you absolutely know their products. PACCAR is the American parent company that owns both Kenworth and Peterbilt in North America and DAF in Europe. They are one of the most consistently profitable companies in the entire trucking industry. And not just by a little. PACCAR has posted a profit almost every single year since the 1930s. During recessions, during fuel crises, during global disruptions, PACCAR keeps making money. That is not luck. That is disciplined engineering combined with smart market positioning across multiple continents. They belong higher on some people's lists, and the only reason they sit in Tier 3 rather than 2 is that the individual brands carry more weight than the parent company name. Iveco, the Italian manufacturer that is far more interesting than most people give them credit for. Iveco covers an enormous range, from light commercial vans all the way up to heavy-duty construction trucks and military vehicles. Yes, military vehicles. Iveco supplies trucks to several NATO armed forces, which is either impressive or slightly intimidating depending on your perspective. Their daily van is one of the most popular light commercial vehicles in Europe, and their Stralis and S-Way models are genuinely competitive in the long-haul segment. Iveco does not have the prestige of a Volvo or a Mercedes, but they punch well above their weight, and they deserve far more recognition than they typically get. Scania. Now we are really talking. Scania is a Swedish manufacturer that has been building trucks since 1911, and they have turned reliability and driver comfort into something almost approaching an art form. Scania trucks are known for their modular design system, which means an enormous number of components can be mixed and matched to create a truck that is precisely optimized for its specific job. For long-haul, construction, or distribution, Scania has a configuration for all of it. Their engines are considered among the finest in the world. Their V8 in particular has a following that honestly borders on a religion. If you have ever heard a Scania V8 at full song, you understand why. If you have not, go find a video immediately after this one. You are welcome. Tier 2, the giants. These are the manufacturers that genuinely define entire segments of the global trucking industry. Volvo Trucks, not to be confused with Volvo Cars. Volvo Cars has been Swedish, then owned by Ford, then owned by a Chinese company. Volvo Trucks is its own entity, and it is one of the most respected heavy-duty truck manufacturers on the planet. Safety innovation, fuel efficiency, and driver comfort. Volvo has consistently been at the frontier of all three. They introduced the first side curtain airbags in trucks. They developed some of the most sophisticated stability control systems in the industry. Their cabs are genuinely comfortable, and that matters enormously to drivers who spend weeks at a time behind the wheel. Volvo also owns Renault Trucks and has a significant stake in the global market across Europe, North America, Asia, and Australia. They are everywhere. They are excellent. They are not going anywhere. Mercedes-Benz Trucks, the Actros. If you drive through Europe and you are paying attention, you will notice just how many of them there are. Mercedes-Benz Trucks, part of the Daimler Truck Group, produces some of the most technologically advanced trucks on the road today. The latest Actros has a camera-based mirror system instead of traditional wing mirrors, called Mirror Cam, which sounds like science fiction until you realize it has been on European roads for years. Their safety systems, their predictive powertrain controls, and their fuel efficiency are all class-leading. Mercedes-Benz Trucks also owns Freightliner and Western Star in North America, which makes Daimler Truck arguably the largest truck manufacturing group in the world by revenue. That is a staggering amount of market share for one group to hold. Kenworth and Peterbilt. Yes, we are grouping them together here because they are both owned by PACCAR, and they target very similar markets, though any driver who has strong opinions about one versus the other, and they all do, will probably disagree with that decision. Both manufacturers are deeply embedded in American trucking culture. Kenworth has been building trucks since 1912, Peterbilt since 1939, and both have developed loyal followings that go far beyond brand preference. These trucks are identity. They are lifestyle. The chrome, the long hoods, The custom sleepers. American trucking has a visual language, and Kenworth and Peterbilt wrote most of it. Freightliner, the best-selling heavy-duty truck in North America. Full stop. Freightliner has held the top position in American truck sales for decades. They were founded in 1942. They are owned by Daimler Truck, and they have combined German engineering infrastructure with American market knowledge in a way that has been extraordinarily effective. The Cascadia, their flagship long-haul model, is the most common truck you will see on any American interstate. The Cascadia in particular has been a benchmark for fuel efficiency, safety technology, and driver comfort in the North American market. With the e-Cascadia, their electric version, they are also leading the charge into whatever the next era of trucking looks like. Mack Trucks. If Freightliner is the best-selling, Mack is the most beloved. There is a difference. Founded in 1902, Mack is one of the oldest truck manufacturers in the world, and their bulldog hood ornament is one of the most recognized symbols in the entire transportation industry. Mack trucks earned their reputation on construction sites, in quarries, and on some of the toughest vocational applications imaginable. They are not the prettiest trucks on the road. Some might say they look like they were designed by someone who had never heard the word aerodynamics and was completely fine with that. But they are brutally tough, deeply trusted, and culturally iconic in a way that very few manufactured products ever achieve. Mack is now owned by Volvo Group, which raised a few eyebrows when it happened, but the brand has retained its identity and its following. Western Star. The cult favorite. Western Star is the manufacturer you choose when you have decided that standard options are not enough, and you want a truck built specifically to your requirements. Based in Portland, Oregon, and owned by Daimler Truck, Western Star occupies a premium niche in the North American market, focused on severe service and vocational applications. Logging, mining, oil fields. These are Western Star environments. Their trucks are heavy, powerful, and customizable to a degree that most manufacturers do not offer. They are also, in the opinion of many drivers, some of the best-looking trucks ever built. And in this industry, looking good while hauling 40 tons through a mountain pass is absolutely a valid selling point. The wild card. Chinese manufacturers are coming. We touched on FO and Photon earlier, but we need to come back to this because it is genuinely one of the biggest stories in global trucking right now. Chinese manufacturers such as FO Dongfeng, SAIC, and Sino-Truc have historically been viewed as budget options. They were seen as lower quality and lower cost, suited for developing markets where price mattered more than refinement. That perception is changing, and it is changing fast. Dongfeng alone produces millions of commercial vehicles annually and has partnerships with Volvo, Nissan, and PSA Group. They are not just making trucks for domestic consumption anymore. They are actively expanding into international markets with improved quality standards and more competitive technology. SAIC, which owns the Hongyan brand for heavy trucks, has been pouring investment into research and development at a rate that is genuinely alarming for established Western manufacturers. The honest truth is that Chinese truck manufacturers in 20 years may look very different from how they look today, in the same way that Chinese car manufacturers looked like a joke in 2005 and are now competing seriously with European and American brands. The trucking industry would be wise not to make the same mistake twice. So there you have it. Every major truck manufacturer in the world, ranked and explained. From the regional workhorses keeping developing economies moving, all the way up to the legends that have shaped the entire industry over more than a century of engineering. What stands out when you look at all of them together is that there is no single best truck manufacturer in the world. There is only the best manufacturer for a specific job, in a specific place, under specific conditions. That is exactly the same lesson we keep learning when we compare American trucks to European trucks. Cabovers to long-nose conventionals. Road trains to standard combinations. The truck that is perfect for the job is always the one that was designed with that job in mind. Now, I want to hear from you. Which manufacturer do you think is the most underrated on this list? And which one do you think is overrated? Drop your answer in the comments below, and if you think I got the ranking completely wrong, tell me that too. I can take it. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe to Trucks United for much more.